What's going on, champs and chambettes? It's FireMonkey here, and I know what you might be thinking, really? You're finally uploading to the commentary channel after like a month or two of inactivity when you were supposed to make videos on like Dead Island 2 and all these other games you told us you would come back to the channel for, but instead you come back for an anime game. And you know what? I'll just be honest here. I accidentally sold the password to this YouTube account to some goblin that was hiding under the bridge nearby my house, and I had to fight through 13 different dungeons to get it back. With that cringe introduction out of the way, however, recently I've been playing the My Hero Ultra Rumble open beta, which is a PlayStation only beta. This is not the worldwide beta that happened a long time ago, which actually was like their closed beta situation that I never got invited to, but this is the open beta test version of it. I don't know if anyone was able to showcase closed beta footage, but this open beta was basically that closed beta with extra systems in place, like the Plus Ultra system, which is kind of like your ultimate ability and stuff like that. So in the background footage, you're seeing some gameplay that I had recorded over on my PlayStation 5 the other day of this actual experience. Now, something I want to mention right away is what is this, My Hero Ultra Rumble game? Of course, we have a beta, but what is the actual game going to be? Well, it's a free-to-play game based on the anime My Hero Academia, where users will be able to use their favorite characters and get divided into 8 teams of 3 players. So these are small matches, right? This isn't like a battle royale with a squad of 4 players against a total of 100 players or anything like that. No, this is a small centralized zone where you have 8 teams of 3 players. So it's basically like 24 battles, like like 3v3v3 all the way up to 24 players total, and it is an interesting little shrunken, it's like a mini Royale in a way, right? And what you have to do is you have all these different characters with different classes, all these different abilities based on the actual show itself, and you're able to actually use different abilities, collect cards to level up your skills or whatever to deal more damage, and the whole goal, as you do with any battle royale game, is just to fight your way to victory and become the champion of that match. Now, as of right now, they have a very interesting system in place where even though it is 3-player co-op, right, you have to be in teams of 3, they have an actual CPU mode where you can verse normal bots. In the CPU mode where you're versing normal bots, you don't even get match made in a team with people, right? If you're in a party with someone, if you are like playing with a friend or something, right, you'll be placed with them on your team and everything, but every other player will be a bot, and you'll even have the empty team spots filled up by a bot on your team. Now, something I have noticed when playing in one of these bot matches is there's different difficulties being easy, medium, and hard. On the easiest difficulty, I think that scales to literally every bot in the game, because the 2 enemy, or I guess, the 2 teammates I had that were bots, they kind of just went off and did their own thing. The circle started closing in, getting smaller so that everyone had to get closer and fight and everything, and my bots were just in the actual, outside the zone, right? They were taking damage and they were downing themselves, and I was like, what am I supposed to do here, right? Because it's like, of course you would want to revive your team, especially in a whole entire situation where it's a trios match, but you really couldn't, because these bots, even when they were revived, would keep pushing outwards. It's like they didn't have any knowledge of where this circle was, at least on the easiest difficulty, and they would just run out there for no reason, right? And even when it got later on in the match, right, in that specific bot match that I played, because I have played some normal matches and some bot matches, I noticed that at the very end, I was sitting around trying to find the final guy, couldn't find them anywhere, and then the game just ends randomly, right? And then it like shows where the final guy died at, and it was just, he just kind of flopped dead over, he got bored and died of exhaustion or something, right? It was so weird. Now, something I do like is that you can complete some challenges in these CPU modes. However, a lot of the actual battle related challenges, such as dealing damage, such as being the actual champion in a match and stuff, those are locked to playing the actual, player match made mode that doesn't feature bots in it. I think that is an actual cool thing for them to do, because it makes it so that, you have a little bit of an incentive to play these bot matches, there being a lot of challenges you can do in those modes, but if you want to actually gain all of the rewards, which includes some free cosmetics, some free actual roles and everything to do the gacha system, which we will get into a little bit later in today's video, and if you want to do all that type of stuff, then you kind of just gotta play the normal game, right? You gotta play the normal game, but you can still get some things here and there done through these normalized bot matches. Now, something very interesting I thought about mentioning, because I want to talk about the good things first here, is that in the normal matches, right, let's say you die very early on, your teammates can't revive you, your team's basically wiped out. You have the option to, of course, spectate random teams or whatnot, or you can leave. Now, if you stay in the match and spectate teams, there is a cheer button. You can spam this button, and I tested it. It caps at 999 cheers on a single person, but you can spam this button, and you'll actually get a bonus, right? You'll get like 100 bonus XP per person person you had cheered on for just being there and supporting other players, watching them do stuff. So it incentivizes you to spectate still, because it's like, hey, you might be out of the match, right? But even though you won't be able to gain as much of a bonus towards yourself and everything, you still are able to gain a bonus just by being around and watching the other players play, which also incentivizes you to learn how other players play certain characters, so you can better incorporate their play style into you when you play those type of characters, or even when you play whatever character you're maining yourself. Now, speaking of character maining, that is going to be a very important thing for this game once it officially releases, because there are 5 different classes or archetypes, as the game calls it. We have Strike, which is a focus on combat. We have Assault, which is also, you know, like a focus on combat, but the difference between Strike and Assault is Strike is more of your heavy hitter, slower damage, or I guess, you know, slower attack ability style, while Assault is more of like the rapid fire attacking, you know, you're able to do a lot more like outputted damage or whatever faster, but you don't do as much when it comes to the big damage numbers. Rapid, which is basically your stamina class, you know, you're just running around as fast as you can. We have Technical, which is kind of like, you know, more of a, I don't really understand Technical, to be completely honest here, because I haven't really ran into anything that goes under the technical role. I just don't see them ran at all in the few games I've played in the open beta. Right now, of course, that might change later down the line. We might learn a little bit more about that role, but that is just one of those archetypes that are being worked on that is kind of vague in my territory from how much I've played. And then we have the Support archetype, which of course is support. It's, you know, related to like medkit healing type of stuff, right? You know, just being there for your other teammates. That's kind of what the support's role job is. Now, the whole entire, you know, thing that you're going to be doing whenever you drop into a match is that you get your character, you drop in the match with your friends. And by the way, you don't have to drop with them, right? You can pick where you want to drop. So if you have 2 teammates that want to go to one specific location, but you want to go on the other side of the map, you can do that, right? You can just pick and choose where you want to go in the game, and I think that's very cool. You know, it's a very nice way of doing it so that you don't have to be with your team if you don't want to, especially if you're already like match made with them or whatever, and you're able to voice chat with them, be like, hey, you guys do this, let's all meet up in the middle later down the line or something like that, because you know you'll be able to handle yourselves. It's a nice little thing. But you drop down your base level on everything, and the whole entire goal is to open up these little like item caches and, you know, loot boxes or whatever in order to actually gain some level ups for your weapons and everything, or I guess your abilities to make you do more damage, in order to gain some special cards that allow you to have some bonuses, such as, you know, like extra defense or extra attack or extra speed for a short amount of time, stuff like that. And even you pick up cards that will just boost one specific ability right off the bat because it was a card that matched a certain ability you already have on your character. And they even have it set up so you have a small chest which can be opened up instantly. It gives you a very small amount of items. You have a golden chest, which is just, you know, like a normal small chest but with a gold tint on it. It takes a little bit of time to open it, a few seconds, but you get more loot. And then a large chest, which is marked on the map for everyone to see, but once you open it, and it does take a little bit of time to open it, so if there's a lot of combat going on, you're gonna have struggles opening that chest, you will be able to get a ton of loot. And I mean, like, you'll be able to level up stuff like 5 times just from that one chest opening, right? So you have a lot of unique stuff going on here, you know, a lot of nice loot and system and all that type of stuff going on in the game. However, where it gets a little bit weird has to be in the terms of the characters themselves, because while you're actually able to get a character and, you know, play as that character and everything, and they have a monetization with a gacha system to get new cosmetics for the character, new emotes, voice lines, all that type of stuff, some characters are actually locked, and the only way I found to actually get a little ticket in order to unlock a new character is through the gacha system, right? You have to get a 3-star actual rainbow chest drop from the loot box system, and then it has to either be, you know, a character you've already gotten, and if it's a character you already gotten, you get 100 of these like soul tokens that give you like half of a 10-roll spin back or whatever, or you have to get a hero voucher, which allows you to get one of those characters right away. And I think it's a little weird seeing how they're doing all this different monetization in this free-to-play game. Sure, it's free-to-play, they gotta make money somewhere, but they have characters that are locked behind these tickets that you'll have to actually end up earning or potentially buying, assuming later down the line they add that as a microtransaction. In order to unlock characters you want to get, you have the gacha system, which is for cosmetics, but also allows you to get those tokens to unlock more characters. And then you also have a battle pass system with a paid tier already planned out. Now, it doesn't have any rewards in it right now, but it's called the Pro Pass, or I guess, you know, the Pro tier of the battle pass system, with even more rewards. So it's like, as you're playing this game, you're going to have daily challenges, weekly challenges, a battle pass, you're going to have events going on all the time, you have heroes that will be added over time, you know, new characters and stuff that you have to get these tickets for, you have a gacha system where you have to actually play the game, grind out the challenges and stuff in order to get more gacha tokens, to actually do more of these roles, to get more cosmetics, and it's like a lot of stuff just being thrown in at once. Right now, I want to be on the side here where I'm like, oh, I love this game because it's an anime I like and stuff, you know, it's going to be cool, and it's a new take on a battle royale where it's like, you know, we've had battle royales time and time again, but it's a mini royale in a way where, you know, it's a lot smaller of a scale, it's not as serious and stuff like that, so it seems a lot more interesting. But they seem a little bit just kind of in this weird area of, are they going to fully monetize this game in this one way, or do they think they can make it a better way and patch some stuff out as they go through the beta phases? Some other things I think I should mention about this game that, you know, are a little bit in that interesting territory is that it's only been advertised for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. This, for some reason, was not advertised for PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X/S, which, considering the year that this game is coming out, right, you would think it would have native support for the newer generation consoles for PlayStation and Xbox, but for some reason, it's just like, hey, you can technically play the old Xbox One and PS4 games on the next-gen consoles, so we're just going to ship, you know, the last gen, or I guess, you know, current gen, whatever you want to call it at this point. I don't even know what we would call it. PlayStation 4, the Xbox One versions, and you can just download that on your Xbox Series X or your PlayStation 5 and call it a day there. That's a little bit of an interesting thing going down, and you can actually kind of see that visual decrease in quality based on it being a PlayStation 4 title being played on my PlayStation 5 through the screen share, or I guess, you know, through the background footage and everything itself, which was only recorded at 1080p 60 FPS because that's as high quality as it would have gotten on my 4K TV due to the game's actual, you know, quality and what it was originally built for. But that was just something that's a little interesting, especially seeing that this is going to be a game that is supported on PC. It was like, why wouldn't they allow all this stuff to be worked on? Why wouldn't they allow us to actually have the type of stuff we want in the game and have it supported on the next-gen consoles? Other than that, though, you might be wondering, okay, so we have a beta on PlayStation 4, what's going on now, right? We have this beta happening here, or I guess PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. Will we ever get a beta on PC? Will we ever get a beta on Xbox? Or are we just going to have to wait for them to announce the game officially releasing at a later point in time? I don't know, right? We currently have no clue what's going on. It's like the beta's happening right now, and it will run until June 2nd on PlayStation 4 / PlayStation 5, of course, you know, it's the whole entire situation there. But other than that, all they've really said regarding other consoles or regarding a release date is it will release on other devices. And, you know, I have seen a lot of people saying that the graphic quality makes it look like a mobile game, especially with the type of monetization system they're putting in the game. And I could see this actually being a mobile game. So who knows, maybe later down the line after launch or something, in order to get more players playing this free-to-play game, they release it on mobile, because I can see it working perfectly fine on a mobile device, and honestly, I might kind of prefer to play it on a mobile device and my computer than I would anywhere else, because it just kind of fits that aesthetic and it fits the type of games that we have seen on mobile phones in recent years. But of course, this has been my little review on My Hero Ultra Rumble open beta test, whatever you want to call it. I think it's pretty cool, you know, I think it's a unique twist on the whole entire, like, battle royale genre, and, you know, it's a smaller scale, so we don't have to worry so much about, oh, this game is dead or anything like that, right? We have bots already supported, we have that whole entire situation going. This is going to be a free-to-play game on multiple devices, meaning that it's going to be open for a lot of people to be available to actually touch this game, install it, play it. It does not look like it's going to be like computer intensive or anything, so you should be able to run on a potato and still play the game. Who knows though, you know, it really depends on how it's coded and ported over to PC and all that type of stuff. And it is, while having an interesting monetization system, a pretty fun game to play. Now, I'm someone who doesn't really play on controller because I'm a keyboard and mouse guy. I play on my computer all the time. However, playing on a controller wasn't that bad for me. It has aim assist and of that stuff on the, you know, the console, of course, and that is to be expected when playing on a controller, but it was still enjoyable for me as someone who doesn't really use a controller at all for this type of genre, right? I use the controller typically for more games like Hi-Fi Rush and that type of stuff, but never for this type of battle royale genre, and it still felt like a smooth experience for me. So with that said, this has been my review of the game and everything. I'm excited to play it a little bit more as the beta continues, because if I'm being honest, I'm recording this video like 3 to 4 hours after the beta is originally released. It's currently 1:29 in the morning and the beta opened up at around like 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, I'm gonna end up editing this. Welcome back to the commentary channel. Haven't seen you guys in a while, and hopefully I'll be making more videos very soon. With that said, however, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and peace out.